Red Bull have been pelted with criticisms this season for a number of things. Whether it's staff leaving, their on-track antics, their lack of respect, their integrity, or their two-team system, the F1 paddock has taken shots at pretty much everything happening at Red Bull this year. The accusations of them using an asymmetrical braking system to improve performance created a particularly large amount of criticism. For Max Verstappen, all of that has become too much, and he's getting sick of it all. Today, I'll check out the pile of problems that people have taken issue with at Red Bull this year and what Max Verstappen has to say in response, so don't go anywhere. After 3 painfully long weekends without any Formula 1, it is finally raw geek again. The F1 paddock will be at the Circuit of the Americas this weekend for their first race in a triple header, which will begin the run into the season finale in Abu Dhabi. All eyes will be on Max Verstappen and Lando Norris as the McLaren driver tries to overturn the 52-point deficit he has to his Red Bull rival. Lando needs to take away just under 9 points per weekend more than Verstappen to be crowned champion at the last race of the season, and with 3 sprint races to help him, anything is possible. It has been a tough season for Verstappen and Red Bull. They started incredibly well, with Max winning 7 of the opening 10 races. But since then, he's been on a winless run, which has seen Red Bull overtaken as leaders in the Constructors' Championship, and a title challenge develop, something that was unthinkable over the opening races. On top of their struggles with development this season, they've been criticised on a weekly basis for a wild range of things, from their behaviour off the track to their lack of respect on it, to how the organisation as a whole is constructed, and of course the speculation over an asymmetrical braking system, the removal of which people blame for their dip in form. It is Red Bull's main rival McLaren who have been the loudest of these critics. Their CEO Zak Brown has constantly had something to say about how Red Bull manage themselves. Before the summer break, he questioned Red Bull's integrity as he felt there has been a lack of respect shown by the team across multiple fronts. He was specifically talking about what he saw as a lack of respect shown by Max Verstappen when wheel-to-wheel racing against his rival Lando Norris. Speaking about Max's aggressive defending at the Austrian Grand Prix, which led to Max and Lando colliding, Zak said, "Disappointed that such a great team like Red Bull, that the leadership almost encourages it because you listen on the radio and what was said," he told the media. "We all have a responsibility on the pit wall to tell our drivers the do's and don'ts and what's going on in the race. And so I think we need to have respect for regulations, and we've seen there be a lack of respect. Whether it's financial regulations or sporting, on-track, issues with fathers and things of that nature." That one comment was a pretty good summary of everything that Zak Brown had taken issue with at Red Bull this season. However, just a month later, Zak got far more personal, questioning the integrity and morals of the Red Bull team principle. "I've known Christian for about 25-30 years. We used to race against each other. I would say we used to get on," Brown told BBC Sport. "I believe in transparency, believe in putting your hand up when you get something wrong. The cost cap, the excuses behind it. I never really heard a 'we just got it wrong.' I heard excuses and not taking ownership. When someone breaches the cost cap and doesn't seem to kind of take it seriously, that's kind of hitting the integrity and core of the sport. To me, it's not personal, it's protecting our sport." While Zak has been the most outspoken critic of the Red Bull team, he's far from the only person in Formula 1 who's taken issue with Red Bull over the last couple of years. As Zak said, how Red Bull handled overspending the cost cap in 2021 was met with widespread criticism, as was the fact that they actually overspent it. On top of that, there has been criticisms over Verstappen's driving style, criticism over the team's morale as a number of high-ranking team members have quit, accusations of an illegal braking system, and criticisms over how the team have developed their car. But before I talk about Verstappen's response to all of this, if you enjoy our daily news videos and occasional opinion pieces and want to help support the channel, then the best way you can do that is head over to f1reverse.com, our new merch store, where you can find some clean, sick-looking F1 merch. Thanks a lot. So, by the sounds of things, Verstappen has finally had enough of the rumours and accusations and criticisms that he and his team have been facing over the past few seasons. In a recent interview with motorsport.com, Max Verstappen said he was baffled by the rumours about Red Bull's alleged use of asymmetric braking, an accusation which has been denied by the FIA and is yet to be proven. He also addressed rival Formula 1 teams trying to stir up trouble through the media, Speaking about the accusations his team has faced, he said, "People always come up with different stuff. I find it really bizarre how they come up with some of these things, but it is what it is. It's part of the game, but I usually just let it go. I've been in F1 for 10 years now, and I'm not wasting time on all those stories. I mean, I barely read anything about F1 anyway. Of course, sometimes I see something or someone else tells me, 'Did you see what this and that person said?' But I always say people can think what they want. I'm not going to waste my energy on that. So I don't really care about what other people say." He also responded to the criticisms that he and his team have been facing from Zak Brown. When the opportunity has arisen, the McLaren CEO has really gone for the jugular, goading Red Bull over a range of topics, from staff applying for roles at McLaren to the overall stability of the team. However, Verstappen does not feel it's just Brown who needs to pay less attention to other teams and drivers, saying that rule applies to all. "People that say all sorts of stuff should just focus on their own team," Verstappen said when discussing some of the Americans' remarks. That's nothing specifically against Zak Brown, by the way, it applies to everyone. People just need to focus on themselves, and that's what I'm doing as well. Despite Verstappen hitting back at the team's critics, the accusations are unlikely to end. Having been called a variety of things from Crash Stappen to the Human Error Champion to the Cost Cap Champion, Verstappen's critics are unlikely to be silenced by him telling them to focus on themselves. Considering the theories over the braking system that the team have alleged to have used as well, a new nickname will likely follow any Drivers' Championship victory that happens this season as well. Of course, there are still 6 races left this season, and Lando Norris is still in the chase, but Red Bull aren't going to let him attack on. The team are hoping that a new floor which will be introduced in Austin will steady their car and give their drivers a car which is capable of competing for race wins again. But Gunther Steiner recently questioned whether the upgrade can do enough for Red Bull to actually challenge McLaren again this season. The big question is, how big is this upgrade, this apparent magic floor which is coming to Austin, going to help them catch up to McLaren? That's the big question. The rest is straightforward. I don't think catching McLaren this year will be possible. However, speaking this week, Christian Horner sounded very confident in his team's development, perhaps hinting that this new floor could actually solve all of Red Bull's problems. "We know where we need to improve. We've got a vein of development now that the team are working very hard on." With Red Bull and McLaren bringing upgrade packages to Austin, the 19th round of the 2024 F1 season could be the most important one yet. Do you think Red Bull will regain their advantage, or are McLaren going to extend theirs? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you want to catch more daily F1 news, make sure to like this video and subscribe. It really does help. I'll see you